Here's a look at the radar imagery.
When it's moving so quickly now,
it's clear Idalia needs to be taken seriously.
Governor Roy Cooper is declaring a state of emergency.
Your source for the most up-to-date coverage on Idalia. This is WNCT 9 News.
And we are tracking Idalia tonight as it makes its way across the Carolinas. We have a full team of reporters all across the east with the latest information you need to know. We will get to each of them in just a moment. But we begin tonight with a look at the storm right now. Hello, everyone. Thanks for joining us. I'm Ken Watlington.
And I'm Angie Casada. Let's head over to the Storm Team 9 Weather Center with Chief Meteorologist Jerry Jackson. Jerry, you have the latest details on Idalia.
That's right. We have the very latest set of tracking coordinates fresh in from the National Hurricane Center. Really, the two biggest issues we're going to see out of this storm overnight into Thursday is going to be the potential for torrential downpours of rain that will lead to some flooding concerns, and also the tornado potential that is rapidly beginning to increase now across the Carolinas. Let's take a look at what we've got. You can see the center of circulation still down there in South Carolina, but as expected, those rain bands are unwrapping a long way north of where that center is, and we've got some very intense squall lines getting set to move on shore down towards Carteret County very soon. This is the current view on the Storm Lab 9 radar. Going to zoom down to just offshore of Carteret County where I have that circle drawn on the screen. Those are clusters of thunderstorms that have exhibited signs of rotation from time to time, what we refer to as couplets, and there are at least 3 of them tracking along, actually 4 showing up. Any of those little individual clusters would be potential of dropping a quick spin up tornado or water spout. So we need to keep close eye on that as it continues to drift northward. And our tornado potential is going to be relatively high over the next several hours. Already our general wind field is starting to increase a little bit in the southern counties, now gusting between 20 and 30 miles an hour down south in Beaufort, whereas earlier tonight the winds were very light. 73 currently in Greenville, 75 in Washington, 77 in Englehart. Again, you can see a lot of rainfall still yet to come as we continue to work deeper into the night. Looks like the core of the system is going to pass in the coastal waters tonight into Thursday, and then as we move along up to the north, you can see how the wind direction will be changing, initially out of the south and then more out of the north by the time we head into lunchtime tomorrow, as Idalia will finally be pulling out to sea during the afternoon hours, setting us up for sunshine for the weekend. As far as the numbers are concerned, we could easily pick up 4 to 6 inches of rain, maybe upwards of 6 to 10 inches in some spots, and some gusty winds. We'll talk about that and tornado potential coming up in just a few minutes. Ken, Angie?
All right, Jerry, we'll talk to you in just a few. Our team of reporters have been out all day and into the night in the elements of Idalia. Now to your side, J. Jarana Hargrove is in downtown Greenville, and Sarah Gray Barr will join us from Newburgh.
But we start in Atlantic Beach, where Aaron Jenkins kicks our coverage off. Aaron, what are conditions looking like right now?
Well, Angie, it is still raining, but one thing new is that the wind has started to pick up. And strangely enough, it actually feels like the wind is coming in at a lot of different directions. I want you guys to take a look over here. If you can see those sea oats in the background, you'll notice that they're kind of swaying in all different directions. They're a little calmer right now than they have been. They're picking up a little bit right now with some of those wind gusts that we're seeing here at Atlantic Beach. Now, this water is still pooling up at the beach. People have been walking down the beach earlier, but it's now a complete pond almost, and that's actually from runoff water from the parking lot onto the beach. And I also can tell you that we think the waves are starting to pick up right now. We're actually hearing a sound that sounds like they're crashing into the shore a little bit harder than they were earlier, but we're going to keep you updated on everything that you need to know from the Crystal Coast on the storm Idalia. We'll send it back to you guys in the studio.
All right, Aaron Jenkins reporting out of Atlantic Beach. Aaron, thank you. Let's take you out to the Outer Banks now. This is the latest information we have on Highway 12 from the State Department of Transportation. Highway 12 is open right now. You see this photo on your screen taken from NCDOT cameras. This is near Rodanthe. You see crews clearing the road and making sure it stays passable.
And let's take a look at road conditions across the east tonight. The map on your screen, it shows no major incidents at this moment. That's good news. All major roads across the east and throughout the entire state, for that matter, are staying clear with light traffic tonight.
And let's stay along the coast now. Along the Outer Banks, officials are urging everyone to be safe. Earlier today, big waves and strong currents from both Franklin and Idalia had surfers out on the water in Nags Head. Tonight, though, the focus turns to the winds. Dare County emergency officials say wind is their main concern with Idalia.
Across the county, we anticipate seeing the winds pick up starting tonight and into tomorrow. We are anticipating tropical storm force winds. The greatest impacts of winds is going to be down on Hatteras Island once again.
Vacationers are also worried about the wind as most rental homes are built on stilts.
Let's shift our coverage a little more inland now to New Bern for a look at what Idalia is bringing people there. 9 on your sides. Sarah Gray-Barr joins us now from Union Point Park. You've been there all day long keeping up with things. So how is it right now?
Ken, it's definitely raining a little bit more than it was earlier. You might also hear the rain. It's pushing the wind towards us. We're going to zoom in toward the leaves. You can see the wind push the leaves. It's pushing some of the rain towards us as well, and also flags. We spoke with locals earlier today, and they say they're honestly not worried about the storm, and this is what they had to say.
I just made a big pot of chili. I'm going to make another, that was a red chili. Tomorrow I'm going to make a white chili, and I'll fill up 3 jugs of water.
We're already ready as much as we can. We bought food. We went to the store and we bought food, and we got peanut butter and jelly just in case.
I also spoke with Craven County Emergency Services earlier today. They say that this is just one of those storms where you want to hunker down, ride it out, and stay safe. Live in New Bern, Sarah Gray-Barr, 9 on your side.
Sarah Gray, thank you. Our coverage continues tonight from Greenville. 9 on your side's Adriana Hargrove joins us from downtown. And Adriana, what's it like out on 5th Street tonight?
Well, Ken, here at 5 Points Plaza, the rain has picked up just a little bit more than the last time I mentioned to you. I'll step aside that way you could see it. Now here, yep, the rain has picked up a little bit more than last time I had spoke with you. And also I could still feel that breeze, that cool breeze a little bit more than last time as well. Now, as far as humidity, it's not as humid as it was out here earlier. It's a little bit more cooler. Road conditions are still very slick. There's a few people that are still out and about. Also, as far as foot traffic. Now, be careful, folks. If you're going to be out here and you're going to be driving, please be careful. Road conditions are very slick. There are a couple of cars here that were hydroplaning right here at the corner of Evans and 5th. Now, I will have more in just a few minutes, but also if you have to report any type of outages, you can head on to our website at WNCT.com. Live in Greenville, Adriana Hargrove, 9 on your side.
All right, Adriana, thank you. And speaking of outages, we're also keeping a track of those power outages across the east. We do know companies like Greenville Utilities and Duke Energy are ready to go when outages are reported. Let's take a look at the numbers now. Some outages already reported down in Duplin and Onslow counties tonight, but for the most part, there are only a handful of outages in the rest of our viewing area. Regardless of whether your community is impacted by this storm, Governor Roy Cooper is urging everyone to be ready for whatever else this season may bring. As for Idalia, the governor has activated the National Guard, who's staging in Kinston, among other locations in central North Carolina. Swiftwater rescue teams are also on standby. With record warm temperatures this year in the Atlantic, Governor Cooper is weighing in on what we could expect as the season continues.
First order of business, making sure that we are ready for this storm. But I don't think there's any question that with the predictions of a greater than average storm year, that we need to be ready.
Many schools are closed tomorrow. You can see a full list over on WNCT.com.
Still ahead on WNCT 9 News at 11 as we take a live look at the White House tonight. We've got the latest on what the president is doing to make sure all states impacted by Idalia have what they need. Plus, a much more active scene in New Bern tonight. You can see and you can hear that active activity. We will check back in there as our Courtney Courtwright will have the latest conditions.
And some extremely heavy rain bands getting set to approach our southern counties over the next half hour or so, and our tornado potential is beginning to increase as we move into the overnight. We'll have all the details next.